What happens when Audi finally decides the Q7 is no longer big enough, the Q8 is no longer luxurious enough, and the BMW X7, Mercedes-Benz GLS, Range Rover and Cadillac Escalade have had the flagship three-row SUV market to themselves for far too long? You get this, the all-new 2027 Audi Q9. And this is not another rumor, spy shot prediction, or imaginary flagship. Audi officially unveiled the Q9 on July 29, 2026, and it is now the largest SUV Audi has ever built, the first Audi SUV to wear the number 9, and arguably one of the most important luxury vehicles the brand has launched in years. We go beyond the brochure to understand what a new vehicle actually offers, how it compares with the competition, what it may cost to own, and most importantly, whether it deserves your money. And with the Q9, that final question is especially interesting, because Audi is entering a segment where buyers already have some exceptional alternatives. The BMW X7 is brilliant to drive, the Mercedes GLS is built around comfort and technology, the Cadillac Escalade dominates on road presence, and the Range Rover has decades of flagship prestige. So Audi couldn't simply build a slightly larger Q7. It needed something that could genuinely compete at the top, and Audi has gone big. The Q9 measures around 5.31 meters or roughly 209 inches in length with a 3.4-meter wheelbase. That makes it almost 10 inches longer than the previous Q7 and gives it the physical presence buyers expect from a serious full-size luxury SUV. Audi has deliberately moved away from the overly complicated creases of some previous designs, giving the Q9 smoother surfaces, a more upright body, and a wider, more substantial appearance. Wheels can reach 22 inches in the United States and up to 23 inches in some markets. This isn't trying to look like a lifted sports coupe. It is unapologetically a large, imposing three-row flagship. But one of the most impressive details is at the back. Audi is introducing available third-generation curved digital OLED rear lights, whose ultra-thin glass panels physically follow the three-dimensional shape of the body. Audi calls this a world first for a production vehicle. The lighting can display different signatures and warning symbols, while the advanced turn indicator system can even project the turning signal onto the ground at night. Up front, digital matrix LED technology uses highly precise light control to improve visibility without simply flooding other drivers with glare. This is the kind of technology Audi does particularly well. Features that initially sound theatrical, but also have a genuine functional purpose. Now the powertrain is where things become even more interesting for American buyers. The US spec Q9 uses a twin-turbocharged V6 producing up to 429 horsepower. Audi quotes 0 to 60 in 4.9 seconds, which is seriously quick for something this large. Quattro all-wheel drive is part of the equation, and standard adaptive air suspension should allow the Q9 to switch between comfortable highway isolation and much tighter body control when the road starts turning. Properly equipped towing capacity reaches approximately 7,700 pounds. And if 429 horsepower in your family SUV somehow sounds insufficient, Audi has already answered that question with the SQ9. A 591 horsepower twin-turbo V8 flagship capable of hitting 60 in around 3.8 seconds. That means the regular Q9 actually enters the fight with a surprisingly strong engine. The 2027 BMW X7 xDrive 4Ci makes 375 horsepower, while the Q9 delivers 429. The Audi isn't supposed to be a performance SUV first, but that power advantage matters when you're accelerating onto a highway with 6 passengers and luggage. The BMW will probably continue to have the edge in steering feel and driver involvement, because that has always been one of the X7's strongest qualities. Audi's strategy appears different: enormous reserves of power, effortless quattro traction and air suspension composure, rather than trying to make a 209-inch SUV pretend that it weighs 2 tons less than it actually does. And then you open the doors, which incidentally can open and close electrically. Sensors monitor the surroundings to stop them from striking nearby obstacles, and the doors can be operated through several controls or through the MyAudi app. Once inside, the Q9 becomes much more convincing as a true flagship. 7 seats are standard, but buyers can choose a 6-seat configuration with 2 individual second-row captain's chairs. Those chairs can be electrically adjusted, while available heating and ventilation elevate the second row into something closer to business class. Third row access has also been designed so the seat can move even when a compatible child seat is installed. The first row seats can offer ventilation and massage, while available 5-zone automatic climate control extends individual temperature management all the way into the third row. And above everybody is the largest panoramic glass roof Audi has ever installed, covering more than 1.5 square meters and offering switchable transparency. This matters because luxury isn't just leather and screens anymore. In a vehicle this expensive, the second and third row experience has to feel intentional rather than like Audi simply stretched an existing SUV and added 2 seats in the luggage compartment. Here, the Q9 seems genuinely designed around carrying 6 or 7 people. Technology is predictably everywhere, but there are several features worth separating from the usual marketing noise. The front passenger receives a standard 12.3-inch MMI display, joining Audi's digital cockpit and central infotainment interface. There is wireless phone charging, numerous USB connections, available head-up information, configurable ambient lighting, and a premium Bang & Olufsen system with what Audi calls 4D sound, incorporating additional sensory elements into the cabin experience. Audi also offers up to 5-zone climate control, and owners can coordinate lighting, seats, windows, climate, sound, and even fragrance settings to create different cabin moods. Maximum cargo capacity with the second and third rows folded is quoted at 87.7 cubic feet, so underneath all of the digital theater is a genuinely useful family SUV. One of the biggest upcoming features, particularly in North America, is hands-free assisted driving on specified highways. Audi says eligible Q9 buyers receive a 3-year trial, with the vehicle able to monitor its surroundings and control driving on approved routes under the system's operating conditions. The important distinction is that this remains driver assistance technology, not permission to stop paying attention. But combined with sophisticated parking assistance, extensive cameras and sensors, adaptive cruise functions, and the Q9's air suspension, this could be an exceptionally relaxing long-distance machine. Now let's talk money, because this is where Audi may have positioned the Q9 very intelligently. US reporting puts the standard Q9 at about $87,700 before destination, or approximately $89,095 including destination. The SQ9 starts around $118,000 before destination. For perspective, the 2027 BMW X7 starts at $89,050, essentially putting the base BMW and Audi on top of each other. The refreshed 2027 Mercedes-Benz GLS is expected to begin around $95,000. Cadillac's 2027 Escalade lineup is moving upward and could effectively push its entry point beyond $100,000 depending on final configuration, while the 2027 Range Rover is expected to start around $115,750. So despite being Audi's biggest SUV and its new flagship, the Q9 is not arriving with an outrageous flagship premium. Of course, nobody is going to drive away in a beautifully configured Q9 for base MSRP and never spend another dollar. Start adding premium leather, individual rear seats, high-end audio, larger wheels, advanced lighting, and driver assistance packages, and a Q9 could move comfortably into 6-figure territory. And those huge wheels are worth thinking about. 22 and 23-inch performance-oriented luxury SUV tires are expensive. Heavier wheels generally don't help ride quality, and replacing a complete set can turn into a 4-figure event very quickly. Over 5 years, I would budget this as a genuine flagship luxury vehicle rather than assuming Audi's relatively attractive entry price makes it cheap to own. Premium fuel, full-size SUV consumption, higher insurance premiums, expensive tires, registration, eventual brakework, and depreciation can add up rapidly. Depending heavily on location, mileage, insurance profile, and fuel prices, roughly $70,000 to $90,000 in total 5-year ownership cost, including depreciation, would not surprise me. Although that is my budgeting estimate rather than an official Audi forecast, and reliable Q9 specific depreciation and EPA fuel economy data are not yet established.